Right now on an Arizona's Family Sports Special. New season on the rise.
I think, the game just evolves, and my game is evolved with it.
62 on the night for Book.
With a new coach.
There's nothing like winning a championship. To share it with the city, to share it with the fans, to share it with the whole state would be incredibly meaningful.
And the Big Three back for year 2.
There's no getting away from it. Even when I'm not playing, I'm thinking about it. I'm playing simulated video games of basketball.
With a revamped supporting cast.
Well, the talent is obvious. I mean, 2 of the best scorers our game has.
We're setting the stage for a new season on Suns Up, Phoenix Suns season preview. Thank you for joining us as we get ready to tip off a new season. I'm Nick King. She's Julia Lopez. This time last year, there was an energy surrounding the Suns. First full season with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker playing together, along with the addition of Bradley Beal. Set expectations as high as they'd ever been for the franchise.
Yeah, but that's not quite how things played out. Not only did they fall short of those lofty expectations, the Suns didn't win a single playoff game. They did win more regular season games than the year before, but entered the postseason as the 6th seed before being swept out of the first round of the playoffs by the Timberwolves on their way to the Western Conference Finals. As the Suns reflected on their season and looked ahead to the future, there was a clear theme heading into the offseason.
For us, chemistry is built over time, and I actually think chemistry is built through fire.
All the great teams in the league thus far has been together for 2-3 years. Minnesota's, Denver's, Boston's, the Lakers, OKC's, like a lot of teams have been together for a few years, so I'm looking forward to building.
We didn't look at this thing as a one-year thing and, we're going to come in and just, we only got this year to figure it out. We got time.
Over time, experience is, the best teacher. So, the more that you can spend time together and, feel this hurt together and go through it together, the better off you are in the future.
Well, it certainly was a disappointing finish for a team with such high hopes, but that's in the past, and now they're starting another season together.
With a couple of notable changes, starting with the new guy pulling the strings on a nightly basis. Former head coach Frank Vogel fired after just 1 year. That opened the door for another coach with championship experience, even if some of those titles came at the expense of the team he's now leading. But if there's any solace for Suns fans, Mike Budenholzer grew up considering himself one of them. A native of Holbrook, Arizona, Coach Bud started his NBA coaching career with the Spurs in 1996. He won 4 titles under Greg Popovich in San Antonio before becoming head coach of the Atlanta Hawks in 2013. 2 years later, named Coach of the Year, leading Atlanta to a 60-win season, earning the top seed in the East and an appearance in the conference finals. After leaving the Hawks in 2018, Budenholzer took over in Milwaukee, where he was named Coach of the Year once again, eventually winning the 2021 NBA Finals with the Bucks, as most Suns fans remember all too well. Now here in Phoenix, Coach Bud sat down with Mark McClune to talk about leading his childhood team and whether he ever saw it as a possibility.
No way. Impossible. That was maybe too big a dream. I was a big dreamer, but not the Phoenix Suns head coach.
What would it mean to one day hoist the championship trophy in downtown Phoenix?
There's nothing like winning a championship, and every organization, that's their goal, that's their pursuit. We're not any different. We're not special or unique, but to do it, to realize that moment, to share it with the city, to share it with the fans, to share it with the whole state, would be incredibly meaningful.
How would you answer what it takes to win a championship?
It's really what you do every day. Are you getting better every day? And are you maximizing what you have individually? What are you maximizing what we have as a team? And that's what's going to give us a chance to win a championship. You have to have a baseline level of talent, and then you have to go to work every day and try and maximize what you are as a player and maximize what we are as a team. Compete is the word you're going to hear a lot. I think, every night we have to be competing. Every day we have to be competing. And there's lots of things that means, and we're going to learn about that as we go through the year. But I think a team that plays unselfish, a team that plays together is important. So, if we're doing those types of things, usually good things follow.
How much did you go through the games last year and been able to really connect, look at film, and the excitement level about what you can do under your system?
Connecting with everybody on the roster is super important, but certainly, with KD and Book and Brad, those guys, they're going to lead us. They're going to set the table, set the tone for us. And, those 3 guys have been great. The whole roster's been great. Very open, great work, great energy in the gym. So it's been a good summer.
Speaking of the big three, when Booker, Durant, and Beal were all healthy and on the floor, the Suns, unsurprisingly, were better. In year one of the big three, the Suns went 26-14 with all of them starting together, compared to 23-19 in any other combination. Here's another non-shocker. The Suns were best with Booker in the lineup, going 43-25 in those games. Heading into another year together, the plan now is to build on what they were able to establish last season and develop more accountability.
I know I missed 30 games. I know K missed roughly about 20 games. I know Book missed 10+ games. Like we missed a lot of games, right? And I don't think we like connected and played together as a unit probably until late November, December. So I think that kind of set us back a little bit. But I also think there were things within the game that we didn't do well. Like we didn't defend well, we didn't rebound well, we turned the ball over a lot. And I think those are a lot of things that Bud addressed, from day one that we have to clean up and be better at. And things that we know as pros too that we have to be better at. But it's good to know that you have a coach who's going to implement that accountability from day one.
Along with accountability, there's also a need for continuity. Among the big three, Kevin Durant started more games than Booker or Beal. In fact, his 75 starts were the most for him in a season since 2018-2019 when he was with the Warriors, which ended with a torn Achilles in the NBA Finals, leading him to miss the entire following season. He's been through it all, and I sat down with KD to talk about his drive to take the next step and how basketball is always on his mind. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You joined the 36 Club.
Yeah. In the prime.
What do you think was the missing piece last year that didn't really catapult you to the next level?
Last year when we seen something that worked for us, we didn't capitalize on it as much as we should. A lot of that comes from unfamiliarity. A lot of guys in and out the lineup. We had some injuries throughout the season. Coach switched the lineups a couple times. So we get more of a steady lineup, a steady group of guys coming in and out the game, and Coach letting us know what we need from one another. I think it'll be better.
One of the things I really appreciate about your game is that you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing. What about last year that you learned the most about yourself in your game?
I'm always trying to figure out how to approach games in the best way possible. And with so much change and so much uncertainty within our lineup sometimes, I had to adapt a certain way to how the game is being played, which is only going to help me as a player. So what tools I need to bring in my bag at certain times, I think I learned more and more about when to utilize my skill set and how to help the team win.
A lot of rumors going around the internet, what's happening in the future for you. Matt Ishbia said that you're happy here in the Valley, but I want to ask you personally, are you happy here in the Valley?
Of course. It's always going to be speculation about my future. That's somewhat a part of my brand now that I play with a couple of franchises in the NBA. So it's natural coming into the league that fans and media members and people who don't know me quite as well are confused on what my future may hold, but it's 2 years from now. A lot of things can change in everybody's life in 2 years, so just tend to focus on the moment. Realize that I'm locked into this team, guaranteed for the next 2 years, so which a lot can happen in that time. They know how much I love being here. I know how much they want me here, and we'll figure that stuff out as we move forward.
When you're not on the hardwood, just what are you doing in your off time to kind of just get away from it all?
There's no getting away from it. Even when I'm not playing, I'm thinking about it. I'm playing simulated video games of basketball. I'm talking about it with my friends. It's just a lifestyle that I committed to and accepted that I will never be able to get away from it, and it's pretty cool to me that basketball is a livelihood at this point. So I enjoy having time away, but I miss the game when I'm not playing too.
Coming up, a different perspective.
My boy Eva's working overtime. It stops him. I feel like you're watching something from the past and kind of have to pay attention more and listen harder to what was going on.
How Devin Booker is documenting his world in his own way.
Game, man.
Plus,
They're going to make my job extremely easy, and at the same time, I'm trying to do the same for them.
new faces for a new season.
It's going to be a new role for me at times, with the bulk of the offense going through those guys. So just being prepared for it is going to be key.
How a couple of off-season additions should meet one of the Suns' biggest needs from last year. And remembering the legend of Al McCoy.
Throws it out to Kidd. Kidd for three. Shoots in! Captain Kidd for a 3-0.
Now with three, now with two, Wilson the
feel like I'm a living, walking example of a kid who listened to him, you know, in my car, my backyard, or my living room.
1 second remaining in the second overtime. Here's Perry to Gar Hurd. Here's the jump shot. Good! It's good! It counts!
And I associate him with the teams that I watched and grow up as much as I do Paul Westphal or Walter Davis or the Van Arsdale brothers or Alvin Adams, Truck Robinson.
Any true Phoenix Suns fans or any basketball fan around the world understands the importance of Al McCoy to the Phoenix Suns.
Throws it out to Kidd. Kidd for three. Shoots in!
And he's been here from the beginning. He's embedded in the culture. He's embedded in all of our lives. You know, it felt like a family member passing, and you know, hard to deal with. But you know, he shared so many stories. We'd have so many moments together that you know I'll forever cherish.
Usually, it's the players that lead the way, but to have somebody like Al, that I think the entire state and everybody just associates maybe as the #1 son.
With 4, with 3, puts up a long shot and scores it. He scores it. A 20-footer by Plumlee.
You know, for him to put a little bit of time into a relationship with me and give me just, you know, that Al McCoy buzz or feeling that you get whenever you talk to him or you hear his voice.
The coach of the Phoenix Suns, Mike Budenholzer. Mike, come on out here and Shazam for you, my friend.
Just blessed to have him, you know, for the Suns to have him for 50 years, for me to have him as a kid, and for me to have him announce me as the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. And you know, we'll honor him this year. You know, hopefully we make him proud.
And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay with us as the Suns get set to shine here on their home court. And the tip control of the Suns.
McCoy called games for the Suns going back to the team's very first season in 1968. And to honor Al McCoy this season, the Suns will wear a jersey stripe in every game bearing his name, Al. That is very cool to see. While the team honors their past, they're going to look to the future with a handful of offseason additions who they hope can fill some gaps in the roster, adding more depth on defense, like guys Mason Plumlee and rookies Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro.
But the most glaring need for the Suns last year, the most talked about missing piece, was point guard. They averaged almost 15 turnovers a game as a team without a true point running the offense. That's where Monte Morris and Tyus Jones come in. Jones has the 3 highest assist-to-turnover ratios by season in NBA history, including last year when he turned the ball over once for every 7+ assists he dished. Morris no slouch either. He set the NCAA assist-to-turnover ratio record at Iowa State, and he's finished second in that category behind only Jones 4 times in his NBA career. Both guys hope ball security can help maximize their new teammates' scoring abilities.
They can put the ball in the basket with the best of them, and they're going to make my job extremely easy. And at the same time, I'm trying to do the same for them. I'm trying to put them in the best positions, in the best spots to just be able to put the ball in the basket at a high level, which is what they do.
My main focus is getting those guys easier looks and also just being able to compete and get back to where this team could be. This summer, just doing a lot of catch and shoot, just spacing and screening, cutting, you know, because it's going to be a new role for me at times, you know, with the bulk of the offense going through those guys. So just being prepared for it is going to be key.
The addition of backup center Mason Plumlee makes 3 former Duke Blue Devils on the roster. He's an athletic, above-the-rim big. What you really need to know about Plumlee, though, this is important, he's right-handed, but as of a couple of years ago, he shoots free throws and the occasional jumper left-handed, making the switch well into his career while playing through an injury to his right index finger. It's fairly jarring to see. The videos of opposing teams reacting to Plumlee's shooting southpaw are epic, but a career 57% free throw shooter, the big man cracked 70% from the stripe each of the last 2 seasons.
I had a hand injury. It was a solve for the moment type thing, and the ball just felt consistent and really soft, and just stuck with it and put a lot of reps in.
Look at George Hill and Wesley Matthews. They're not paying attention. They don't know that Mason is now a left-handed player. They can't believe that.
Did anyone try to talk you out of it or ask you
For
what
sure,
you were doing?
for sure, yeah. A lot of people still, but you know, I shot my career high last year from the free throw line, and I feel good about it. You know, it's something I believe in.
Did guys give you hell about what it looked like?
No, I don't care how it looks. The results are there.
Exactly. As long as it works, who cares?
And it's looking better all the time.
Exactly. Well, nobody in the media spends more time around the players or talks to them during the heat of a game than Sun sideline reporter Amanda Pflugrad.
You can catch her during Suns games all season on Arizona's Family, and she stopped by the Extra Point podcast to talk about a couple of crucial role players in the Suns lineup.
Grayson Allen looks like he could play middle linebacker.
Bulked up this offseason. Well, and Bradley Beal even said that could be a product of, Grayson Allen expecting his child this season. And then he said kind of, you're eating whatever your wife's eating. So he said that can happen when you're a husband waiting.
Pickles and ice cream?
Probably. He said whatever her order is at 3 a.m., that's what you're eating. I think with Grayson, you look at what he did this offseason going back to Duke and working out there and how he talked about just his evolution as a player. He wants to continue to improve on his three-point shooting and just being able to be that guy for the team. So I think that I'm excited to kind of see what he does, his level of focus. I mean, that is also something, too, coming off the bench. What are we going to see with that, him being really the guy in that second unit to produce for them. So I'm excited for what he's going to be able to do and just kind of building off last season, leading the league in three-point shooting. Just his legs and his arms, too. I mean, he does look a lot more solid. Bradley Beal called him today at practice the young Nurk.
Nurk.
Yes, that's what they're saying. That's what they're calling Grayson Allen right now.
Really?
Young
because
Nurk,
of how much he's grown in the offseason.
Yes. Yep.
Nurk, I think there was some talk, like, will he be back? Does he fit in? I mean, member of the starting five. I think last year he had to do a lot. And, we got to post All-Star break, and there was certainly some fatigue there. Have you had a chance to talk to him at all this year about just his offseason approach and how he's approaching this year?
Coach Bud went out and visited him in Croatia. He's
really?
Yes, yep. He's put on weight. That's what Coach Bud was saying. He's really worked out, strengthened everything. But he went to Croatia to see him and kind of get a chance to get to know him a little bit. He said the trip was beautiful and just looking to build that connection. But I think coming in and already having that starting five set, you have Tyus Jones that is a true point guard. He is going to be running the point. And then you have KD, Book, Bradley Beal, and then Yusuf Nurkic. I just think that for him, knowing that position and just being in that role, I'm hopeful that he's going to be able to stay healthy this season and just continue to build off his rebounding, his shooting, and be able to help these guys.
Still ahead. Book the filmmaker.
On my first All-Star weekend, I was like, I want to capture this, and my good buddy put me on to the handy cam. He was like, it just has a different feel than the iPhone footage.
See y'all in LA.
The retro hobby Devin Booker picked up and the glimpse of movie magic we got to see during the Paris Olympics.
Place that medal one time.
I admit everything, to represent the United States, my state that I come from, my city, my street, my last name, to take that on the world stage. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I'm glad we was able to come out and show the world that we know basketball here in the States and we know how to play as a team.
We came home with the gold in Japan too, but there was no fans out there. There wasn't 50,000 French people going against you. So I think all of us fed off that energy.
It was so much fun to watch them over there. Yeah, Durant and Booker starting the new season with some new hardware, returning from Paris with gold medals. It's the fourth for KD, the most of any men's player in USA basketball history, and the second for Book.
Book also returning with a library of home videos. This behind-the-scenes Instagram reel was seriously cool, fun for not just Suns fans to see, but basketball fans around the country. It's got 8.5 million views, and if you paid close attention to him over the years, the old school camera off the court is nothing new.
Crazy at a game, man.
What cool say?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Love all y'all.
So I was fascinated with all the camcorder stuff at the Olympics.
I was nonstop going. I didn't want to miss any chance or any opportunity to miss greatness, and that's what the Olympics is. Greatness from all over, all different parts of life, just all in one place. So I took advantage of it.
The first time I remember seeing you with the camera watching a game was WNBA Finals, and then I've seen you at Diamondbacks games with the camera. How did that all start?
Early on, I brought them to All-Star Weekend, my first and second year in the league. So, I have a lot of content in the vault. I've never really quickly turned around anything and released it like that, but just understand the importance of it, and I watch it back sometimes, and I can only imagine if I feel how I feel about it now, I'm gonna feel 20, 30 years. It's a time capsule. It's something that I'll be able to pass down to the next generation, because we sit back and look at it, some pretty cool stuff going on.
Yeah, boy. Was that the vision originally when you were a young guy in the league with the camera, like having it as a vault to look at years down the road?
Yeah, because it was always a dream of mine to, even just make the NBA. And then I remember my first All-Star weekend, I was like, I want to capture this. And a good buddy put me on to the handy cam. He was like, it just has a different feel than the iPhone footage. And ever since then, when you watch it back one time, like, you feel like you're watching something from the past, and you kind of have to pay attention more and listen harder to what was going on. So I like the process.
With the Olympic stuff, you're obviously shooting a lot of it. Are you getting in there like editing? How's that video going?
No, I don't do that. But I'm right there. While my buddy Jake was cutting it up. So yeah, I'm part of it.
Book says he's got these cameras. He treats them like disposables. They're all just laying around his house. And his favorite thing with the Olympics was going to watch gymnastics and watching Simone and Suni.
Yeah, that was amazing. We saw that on his Instagram story, and it was just so cool to see him go through that. But I would love to see him do some tape-to-tape editing as well and see that archive footage.
Yeah, I was not surprised that he isn't doing that. All right, what are you most looking forward to this season?
Yeah, so I really, really like the depth of this team. I cannot wait to see these guys come in and out of the rotation, and just to see that continuity that we've been talking about with the big three. Can't wait for them to bring that chemistry, and we see it on the hardwood.
Yeah, and I want to see Book and Beal off the ball. They don't have to be the point guards this year. Yeah. 56 wins is my prediction. All right, thanks for joining us on this AZ Family Sports Special. You can watch the Suns all season long right here on Arizona's Family.